and welcome to this week's edition of the Pelican Sports Postgame Show. LSU 31-0 over Southeastern Louisiana University. Buddy, game went about like people thought it would.
Well, I tell you what, TK, we welcome everybody to the postgame show once again. Second week of the season. Boy, these weekends go very quickly. You saw some monster games from the big wigs, obviously Alabama and Georgia exerting their muscles. And let's be honest, TK, there's a couple things to start off and talk about. First of all, and I came in a little late and mentioned this, but LSU's on a short week. Had the hoopla of coming back from Dallas, and obviously they did not play well tonight. Offensive line has been a concern that we've all had through the fall camp. With Sadiq Charles suspended for the game, LSU had to move Deckless over to left tackle. Badera Traore got eaten up all night long at right tackle. Southeastern came to play. They hit hard, but LSU's offense just was horrific. And there were a lot of problems that raised its ugly head. Let's give the Lions. I know you got to be proud as an alumnus that they played hard and they tried and they did some good things. But let's be honest, all Tiger fans that are either at home now, left the stadium early, or leaving now, there's a lot of big disappointment for this performance tonight.
Well, I mean, you're supposed to play hard. So, I mean, that doesn't do anything to me that, you know, they played hard. You're supposed to play hard. You line up and play, okay? The rest of their games are in the Southland Conference. They got to get ready for that. They got 9 more games. They're all conference games. So it was a way for them to try to get better. LSU was supposed to clean up some things. Coach O said Thursday night, everything's cleaned up. We worked it all out. Well, they didn't practice blocking this week, huh? We got lots of messages in here that, you know, what happened with the offensive line. You and I were texting about that earlier. I mean, it was quite suspect. And, you know, they're supposed to be able to block Southeastern with all due respect.
Yeah, and there were, I mean, we talked about this, TK. If ever we thought that there would be this kind of pressure, we thought it would be the opener against Miami. But, look, the good thing about it is you got the victory, you got the shutout. I thought the defense played well in the first half. Second half, LSU had very few possessions to get the football. In fact, coming into the last couple of minutes, LSU only had the football 10, 15 plays in the second half. Offensive line, those guys don't need to eat tonight because they got their lunch eaten. And I hate to say it, but some of them got some baby fat on them. I thought Deckless had cleaned up a little bit. He looked chubby tonight. Traore got beat up. A lot of holding calls, taking away big plays. Nick Brissett still did a nice job today. Another game of over 100 yards. Finally, they got the football to Jamar Chase. I'm telling you, folks, he's the best wide receiver on this football team. You'll see that. He needs to play more and get some more reps. But Burrow got hit a bunch, was flushed out of the pocket, had to run. I had a guy texting me in the stadium. Burrow having to run in the fourth quarter is unacceptable. You only have 2 scholarship quarterbacks. You got to protect him better. So this was a stinker, and it doesn't bode well for going up against SEC defenses going forward.
We got a really good question here on the text message line, 504-689-9246, and I want to address it. Why does LSU always play down to their competition? Here's how I'm going to address that. I don't care what Coach O and the staff say all week, you know, that the Lions are good and they're going to do this and they got speed and, you know, they're well coached and they're going to work harder than ever. They want to come in and, you know, shock the world. I don't care how many times that gets said Monday through Friday. They know that this is Southeastern, a team to pick 8th or 9th in the Southland Conference, and, you know, they know that. And you can't help it. It's human instinct. You're going to play down a little bit. You know, do you want to say looking ahead to Auburn? I don't think you say that because I'm sure the coaches pointed out, do not look ahead to Auburn. You know, you got to do that as a coach, but it is a mismatch. You know, it's a rent-a-win. It's a paycheck for the Lions that helps their budget. The question is, did LSU get better? They got a whale of an opponent next week, the Auburn Tigers. Did LSU get better to give themselves a better chance when they got to go to Auburn next Saturday afternoon for the 2:30 kick?
Let's go to Frank and see what he's got to say and start us off. As did he come in?
No,
Frank.
We're going to go to a break. We want to get your phone calls at 225-928-4910, 225-928-4910, or the text message line. Several of you are doing that. Bad play calling in the second half. Yeah, we would agree with that. Looks let us know injury-wise. We will hear from Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com, as well as Ronnie Rance of the Jumbo Sports Network. They'll be in the locker room. They'll have any injury information. Let's take a break, come back to the phone lines, the text messages, Facebook Live, the whole bit. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Chrysan on Facebook Live. We're on WUBR, 9:10 a.m. on the smartphone, and, of course, Pelican Sports TV. TV will repeat tomorrow morning at 9 and 10:30, back-to-back airings in case you missed it. We'll be right back to the phone lines after this pause. Stay with us.
Text Hubby. Can't wait for tonight. Where are we meeting?
Tonight? Date night? Oh. Find sushi restaurant.
Let's try wasabi sushi.
Route to sushi.
The destination is on your left.
Play our song.
Pioneer in-dash systems with Apple CarPlay. Get yours installed today at your local Mesa retailer.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Jordy Helper for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Chairman's Reserve steaks, their pork, their chicken, their seafood, top of the line. Primo barbecue pits, Icy Tech coolers. They can go anywhere and cater anything for you. Go to 751-7665 to call Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market, where good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market.
Are you ready for this year's formal events? Weddings, homecoming, Mardi Gras, prom, pageants. Debbie's Bridal is having an inventory blowout sale. Don't be left out. Prices range from 20% off to 80% off. Happening now. Debbie's Bridal, Burnside in Gonzales.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, a CLK multifamily management property. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Stop by Cypress Lake Apartments, call 225-293-6789, or go online, live at cypresslakeapts.com. LSU now 2-0 on the season, second non-conference win, 31-0 over the Lions of Southeastern in Tiger Stadium. It's Auburn next week, 2:30, post-game about 6:15, maybe even 6:30. Let's go to Frank in Baton Rouge. Frank, you on the post-game show.
Hey, TK and Buddy, how y'all doing tonight?
Frank, we're disappointed. Obviously, that was a stinkeroo, and I know you have plenty of points to make. But look, there's not much good to say tonight. They put a goose egg on the scoreboard, but you know, one of the problems we've been talking about the whole fall camp was the offensive line, and it is a little alarming that an FCS school basically tore up your offensive line tonight.
Well, I agree with y'all 100%. They were flatter than a pancake tonight.
Yeah.
You know, Joe Burrows, he holds on to the ball too long. Evidently, he has a hard time taking out his second and third receiver or something.
Well, hold on, Frank. They were keeping a lot of people.
They put a rush on him, but when they didn't put it, he had enough time to pass, and he held the ball too long.
Understand that, but they were keeping a lot of people back to block, and a lot of the routes only had 2 wide receivers, and I did not think the offensive game plan was worth a damn, to be honest.
I agree with you. They're going to play hell against. If they don't step it up, I hate to see what the score is going to be against Auburn.
Yeah, that game tonight did not give Tiger fans a lot of you know, confidence. But look,
it wasn't the same team.
I'm pretty sure they did go 4-0 on the turnover battle. I was telling TK during the break, Frank, you realize without Jacoby Stevens picking up the fumble late in LSU scoring, and without the Hail Mary, this thing is 17-0. And Southeastern, Frank Selfo is going to go in that locker room and tell the media they shot themselves in the foot. But you have stinkers. Last year the stinker cost you a game against Troy. Maybe you can look at it like that. But, you know, you got to get Sadiq Charles back. TK, that offensive line got eaten up all night long.
They did. They didn't have a good night. There's no question about that. I'm sure that'll be a focus at practice on Monday without question on that. Because I know one thing. I don't know a lot of things, buddy, but I know Auburn's defensive line is better than Southeastern's, okay?
Much better.
So I do know that there's night and day there.
I'll have to agree with you on that. Well, look, there ain't really too much to talk about. I mean, it was a boring game. To me, it was sloppy. I mean, you know, you could pick all night where they messed up. But I don't know. I'm gonna let somebody else call.
Good to talk with you, Frank. Appreciate you, my man.
Let's go to Bill in Gonzales. Bill, you're on the post-game show.
Hey, Tommy, buddy, how you?
Happy Saturday night,
How y'all
Bill.
doing tonight? But gee whiz, it's like, let me put it this way. I'm doing pretty good because I tuned into the Tigers late, watching the Astros win the second game against the Red Sox. And thank you, baseball gods. 2 wins against the Red Sox. I'll take that. And the Tigers, it was going to the second quarter. Tigers were up 14-0. And then I watched the game.
Well, Bill, you made a good decision
my eyes
tonight.
went blurry on me. I think I'm going to need another surgery or something.
You made a good decision watching the Stros. By the way, Bregman really, really hot. Bill, you know about the bet that he had with the Red Sox manager, right?
I was looking after my little dog. I saw it, but I didn't hear it. What went on with that?
TK, tell him on that.
I'm not sure. I missed that one.
Bregman bet Cora, who, of course, was the shortstop when Warren Morris
Hit the bomb.
hit the home run and beat Miami. He bet that LSU would win, and Cora had to wear LSU stuff and Warren Morris stuff in batting practice. He would have had to wear some Miami gear. But I tell you what, I've never seen a guy hit the long ball so well in year 2. I mean, this guy's been special. We know he got the second pick, but look, you missed an ugly game, Bill, and look, there's no singing to Coach O. They cut you off early on the radio show this week.
Well, all I can say is I hope nobody got dinged up. I hate games like this when it was 24-0, and in the fourth quarter, we got the starters in there. I give credit, like y'all were saying in your opening, to Southeastern. I mean, yeah, we all know they got their paycheck and everything, and they start their conference next week, you know, for the long haul, and LSU gets a couple of breaks in there. But I offensively, gee whiz, it's like You know, sometimes, buddy, you wear the shades. I was thinking, gee, I needed a clothespin and smelling salts to kind of wake me up.
I hope I don't have to do this next week, Bill.
Look at the Bud Man.
I almost wore them because it was a stinker, but it was a W, and I'm going to certainly.
Yep.
Bill, what do you think now? You obviously kind of thought this was a rent or win. Here's the thing, TK. You and I discussed it before the game. It's a short week. You're a 38.5-point favorite with Vegas. There's nothing to lose for Southeastern. You got an empty crowd. I think I had people telling me 25 to 30,000 empty seats before. You're going to see more of that this year until you get Georgia and other opposing fans that come over and take over Tiger Stadium this year, and I think that may happen. But there just wasn't anything that made you feel good. It didn't give you a good feeling in your gut or your belly tonight.
I have a question for you. Do you think, and we don't really know the answer to this, but let's speculate. Did Southeastern get more out of this game than LSU?
Absolutely. Are you kidding? They got great confidence, a big fat check.
They kicked off 3 and out.
They did.
No,
but we were talking, Bill.
They showed the holes in the Tigers' defense, and I hate to say that out loud, but it's like I think opposing coaches already know it. Whatever they got, teams can do, like a swing pass or a quick slant, nobody guarded them. And, I mean, well, in the second half, I think it was the fourth quarter, even Devin White missed a tackle.
We were
Maybe
talking
he was charging in too hard. The camera didn't show it, you know.
We were talking about this.
He kind of did the ring around the receiver, and the guy went for 15 yards and a first down. I don't know. It's like I didn't realize it until, buddy, you got it right. Before LSU had, I think I missed that. I was with the dog again down the hall. She decided to leave me some spots on at least it's on the tile, not the carpet, right? And so I think it was an interception that when the Tigers got the ball and got their last touchdown. Is that correct?
No, it was a center that centered it over the quarterback's head, and Jacoby Stevens picked it up on the run. The quarterback,
and
he ran about 70 yards. The quarterback tripped him up, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire got in for his first score as an LSU Tiger.
Got it, yeah. And I was happy to see that, but it's like, Lord B. It's like, yeah, I'm glad it's over with. I hope they do better against Auburn. I mean, Auburn, from the score I kept track of during the day, seemed to have no problem with their run or win. And I hope the Tigers do well, but it's like we know we have problems, and, oh, well, a learning experience.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it, buddy. Talk to you next week.
Take care, man.
Okay, bud.
All right, real quick, time of possession, 35 minutes for Southeastern, 25 for LSU.
Inexcusable.
LSU did not turn the ball over. That's one of the few.
They turned it over 4.
They turned over 3. That's one of the few highlights. Southeastern had more first downs and more passing yardage. That's alarming. That is alarming. Let's go to Clyde in Lafayette. Hey, Clyde, how's things in Lafayette?
Pretty good.
Welcome to the show, Clyde.
Yeah, I just had an observation. I've been watching the Tigers pretty religiously lately, and the lead up to this game was, if I can remember correctly, when Jordy was on with during the week, it was mentioned you can just name the score. Whatever score you want to call, 57-0 or whatever. But let me tell you something, gentlemen. What I've been seeing lately, if they play like this, I have to go back to check my computer and look at LSU's schedule again. And let me tell you something. If they play any way close to the way they played tonight, the ending season record, in my estimation, is going to be 5-7. Because let me tell you, I watched Auburn tonight, and I watched Texas A&M was just about to beat. I don't know how it ended up, but they're just about to beat Clemson.
Yeah, they were down 28-20 when we came on the air. Kentucky's beating Florida for the first time in 31 years. We got to make sure that gets in. Look,
A&M's, well, it's 28-26. A&M may be going for 2.
You know what happened? LSU kind of lost the killer instinct. It all started with that game last week. What was that all about? I mean, if you got them, you want to step on their throat. You want to make everybody watching you, scared of you when you come to play them. Now, nobody's scared of LSU anymore. Nobody. Something's got to change. There's too much lackluster football being played in Baton Rouge right now, as far as I'm concerned.
All right, Clyde, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Clyde. Well said, and I think everybody echoes those sentiments.
Let's go to Paul, Shreveport, Louisiana. Paul, you're on a post-game show.
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Paul, good to talk with you, buddy. Missed you yesterday.
Yeah, I got into town late, busy at the hospital. Hey, man, that game today was a dead crowd, and well, you know, we won 31-0, and we're kind of like sour grapes, but at least we won 31-0, huh?
Well, Paul, look, here's the thing, and you know, we always hear these things and these axioms and adages and things that people say you get better from your first game to your second game because you clean up the time management and you get more people in and you know how the new coaches work under pressure and fixing all the things, the problems you have in the press box and getting plays in. And so they did a better job of time management, especially scoring late right before the half. And cleaned up some things, but from a physical standpoint, Paul, I other than Breeden Fehoko, who was fantastic early in the game, let's give him a shout out. He was outstanding. Devin White is not playing typical Devin White football. I don't know what's going on with him, but he just seems to be off a little bit. Phillips gets thrown out because of the targeting. The good thing about it, TK and Paul, is that when you do it in the first half, you're suspended for the rest of the half, and you can play, so he won't have to be suspended for first half. He'll be able to play. But they just didn't seem like they were crisp, and that offensive line that we worried about all fall camp, TK and Paul, it reared its ugly head. And when you have Ed Ingram, who was, of course, suspended and still suspended, you got Sadiq Charles, who was suspended for the game, probably for the wacky tobacco like Divinity. And now you got to have Deckless at left tackle. But, I mean, Burrow was under duress.
McGee's hurt.
McGee's hurt. This is an area where they're a couple years away from having enough offensive line, Paul.
How come the junior college guy from Tador, whatever his name is, how come he didn't play left tackle? I thought he came in for the left tackle.
Well, because they've been using him at right tackle, and I think instead of trying to flip-flop and get two new positions at both tackles, they wanted to stay constant. Let me tell you what, 91 doesn't have to eat the post-game meal because he ate Badara Traore's lunch, dinner, supper, and dessert tonight.
In a midnight buffet, huh?
Hey, Paul, real quick.
Go ahead.
Frank made a comment about Joe Burrow, and I know a lot of people were saying that he throws the ball, he held on to the ball all too long. What I saw that was alarming is that Steve Ensminger, TK and Paul, was using a lot of double tight ends because they were getting so much pressure. Now, look, Charles comes back next week, and it'll make a big difference. But, you know, only having two receivers on routes and playing guys that aren't that familiar with all of us as far as, you know, they're playing a couple guys out there for the first time tonight just to try to give him some protection. I know Coach O's got to be addressed in the protection area, but where's the screen pass? If you're coming in and he's under duress, a little screen or a draw or something, I just, you know, it just didn't seem like, and it doesn't seem like, ever since the third quarter, the offense has been in sync, Paul.
I would just say it seemed like a disconnect offensively. You know, definitely you could have got the backs and the tight end, three-step drop, pop, make a completion. But I tell you, the whole campus seemed kind of dead today. You know, wasn't a big turnout, and the ones that showed up, you know, really didn't get that loud into it. I don't know if it's a hangover from the Miami game or what, but my guess is they'll pick it up against Auburn. It'll be a competitive game. What do you guys think the point spread would be right now?
Spread on LSU Auburn?
7 or 8, Auburn. 10?
9.
9? You're going, Buddy's going 9. Buddy's better at that than I.
I'm going to say 9 or 10 right now after tonight's performance. What do you think,
if
Paul?
They show up like they did tonight, they're not going to cover.
No, they won't. Thank you, buddy. Man, we've talked to you during the week.
You bet. Y'all have a good show. Bye.
Thank you, Paul.
Clemson did beat A&M 28-26. That's the final. How about this, buddy, before we go to break? LSU only ran 55 plays tonight, and it was not 50-50. It was 20 passes, 35 runs. This is not the change Ed Orgeron promised. Am I correct with that?
You're exactly
Ed
right.
Orgeron said they're opening it up. They're going to go 3 wide, 4 wide, maybe 5 wide.
50-50.
2 tight ends out there a whole lot tonight. 21 personnel. That's 2 tight ends, 1 back. And they ran the ball 35 times to 20. That's not what Ed Orgeron promised the people.
I agree
now,
100%.
Did they think, okay, we can't block the Lions. We're getting Burrow hit, so let's just run it. We can win the game running it. Might that have been a thought?
I watched a lot of ball today. Everybody's in the shotgun. Alabama's in the shotgun every play. You better get Joe Burrow in the shotgun every play. This under the center and hand it off.
Again, it's not.
They're going to get crushed if they don't completely get spread out in the shotgun and doing this. You're talking about 10 to 15 point loss.
A bad offensive line is more reason to spread out. Get the shotgun, get the ball out of the quarterback's hand in a timely manner before they can get to you if you can't block them. We're going to take a break. Lions came in, played hard, but LSU wins 31-0. We've had a couple of text messages say, hey, a win is a win. It was ugly, but it's a win. We're getting all that kind of stuff. Same offense we've had for, here we go. This is the same offense we've watched for 7 or 8 years. LSU wasted their money firing Miles. Orgeron must have less in the headset. All right. If we beat Alabama 3-0, will we have the same opinions tonight? They're not going to beat Alabama 3-0. Okay. We got to get to a break. We appreciate the folks on the TuneIn app with WUBR, the folks on Facebook Live. We appreciate those as well. And of course, Pelican Sports TV. Don't forget the TV repeats Sunday morning, 9 a.m. and 10:30 on Pelican Sports TV. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Christ, and we're coming back with more of your phone calls and text messages. 31-0, Tigers win. We're back after this pause. Stay with us.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
The Accord Eye Clinic has moved to a new office, just minutes from the old office at 8280 YMCA Plaza Drive, Building 9. Dr. Shonda Accord and her staff welcome patients of all ages, including children and adults. They have a wide variety of frames and sunglasses, including Maui Jim. The Accord Eye Clinic features modern instruments and state-of-the-art technology, including digital retinal scanning with Optomap. hard-to-fit contact lenses, as well as professional care and service. Open Monday through Friday, 8 till 5. Call for an appointment, 225-767-EYES, and visit the website, visionsource-br.com. The Acord Eye Clinic looks forward to seeing you.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
We continue with Pelican Sports Radio post-game show, Facebook Live, TV, radio. We got a bunch of people out there. That's a good thing. Let's get to the phone lines. Chris is in Lafayette. Chris, you're on the post-game show. Chris.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing tonight?
Happy Saturday night, Chris.
I have to call and apologize to you guys. Last week I called and said you both looked like you had Botox. You were looking so good. And then this week, it looks like y'all both got a case of less myelitis.
Less myelitis.
Run.
You know the amazing thing about tonight when looking at this game is that we got a 4-year guy, 5-year guy out of Ohio State that can't. And you know I love listening to Buddy every week say, "Where's the swing pass? Why everybody can run a swing pass but LSU can't?" And we got a quarterback that can't get rid of the ball. We got a quarterback at Southeastern, 45 miles away, that we never recruited and never looked at. They got a guy over there in Monroe, Fort Gage, who throws 400 or 500 yards every week. But LSU can't recruit a quarterback. It's downright boring, guys. I hate to tell you, but we look like we're back into the mild, age, and I really have no answer for it. We're going to be, I remember what the guy said before me, that it's going to be a difficult season if we don't get any offense going. Right now, structurally, it just looks terrible.
Chris, TK is and I obviously talk and text and interact quite often, all hours of the day and all during the week, and certainly before the game and after the game and all that. But he was lit up because I was a little naive, Chris. I've got to admit it. I bought in.
Yeah.
50-50. And it ain't even close.
It's not the offense that Ed Orgeron said the fans would see.
What are you doing underneath the center that often, Chris, when you're getting your butts pushed back on every play? Southeastern's defensive linemen were pushing LSU back 3 yards on almost every play. Getting the shotgun, number one. Number two, you went to the Saints and you spent a day and a half. You should have spent a month with the Saints so you could execute a screen pass. And number three, you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire and some guys that you want to get in space. And all it takes is a little swing. We talk about it. We saw the routes. I mean, did you see the plays that Southeastern called versus what LSU called?
Absolutely.
We like in the old days, Chris. You grew up with me.
Buddy, I've been listening to you tell those guys that year in and year out.
Vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate. There are more than 3 flavors. We don't need Neapolitan anymore, Chris. There's 77 flavors, and LSU's got 3.
Buddy's going with 77 flavors.
I'm sorry, Chris. You.
All right, Chris, you got Buddy worked up, man.
Hey, now listen. Next week, I'm just going to send you guys some Prozac or Xanax or something.
I don't need it. I'm good.
Down, Tommy, because I don't want to lose him. And,
Hey, listen, I'm still taking my blood pressure medicine, but I will tell you this. TK said it earlier, and now I'm jumping on. Throw the frickin' football on first down. Get in the shotgun. Swing passes. Drag to the tight end. Throw the ball to Jamar Chase, your best receiver. Now, I understand what Coach O's going to say. Here's what he's going to say, and I'm not even hearing any of it. We had protection breakdowns, and we had to put an extra blocker in there because they had so much pressure on us.
They didn't have one heartbeat. All right, buddy.
My point, Chris, is that you're exactly right. That was archaic, and I have myelitis right now.
All right, Chris, thank you, man.
Look, every week I'm going to come up with a disease till I cure you guys.
We're not
I want
dying,
you to do
baby.
that. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Chris.
it. Thank you.
Appreciate
Let's go
it.
to Jordan in Cutoff. Jordan, you're on the post-game show.
Hey, guys.
Hey, man.
I think y'all missing it altogether.
All right.
Y'all got to realize that first off, the offensive line is coming in this game. One guy's missing and one guy's hurt. And this is a practice game. They're not going to come out with the offense that they're going to play against Auburn like this game. If they did, that'd be the stupidest coach ever. I think we need to wait and see. I believe they're going to show us the difference that y'all talking about next week, if we can execute it. Now, if our offensive line is still beat up, well, I don't know what they're going to do. But the bottom line is I did not expect us to see much of anything this game that they would show Auburn what we can do, including the screen passes and the works. I think we got to give these guys another week.
I agree with that comment that you won't see the same offense. I think Jordan makes an excellent point. But Jordan,
you should have saw it in the first half.
I was over here and came in here last weekend, and I was lamenting the fact that they shut down the offense and smoked the cigarette way too early. And lo and behold, really, ever since that third quarter in the first game, and they played relatively well until about the third quarter, this offense has not been on all cylinders. And I think what you're saying is, look, you're not going to see that crap against Auburn. Now, I agree with that. But, Jordan, don't you think that you need to practice a little bit of what you're going to do against Auburn in some games? A, to give them an opportunity to prepare for it, and B, to get your guys ready? I mean, let's be honest. Auburn's going to pin their ears back and come after LSU.
Oh.
Well, I agree with you guys. If we have enough guys back on the offensive line to be able to execute these plays, I think we'll be fine. I mean, we may lose the game, but I think it will be very, very competitive. If our offensive line can settle down and we get the people back, I think we'll be fine, and I think they're going to run a completely different offense.
Did you watch a lot of ball this weekend, Jordan?
Not a lot, no.
Okay. Everybody's in the shotgun. Everybody's dinking and dunking. Everybody is throwing the football, and I give props to TK because he said it earlier. I just think they've got to open it up, and I know the justification is going to be, look, we're not being able to protect the quarterback, so we've got to go more conservative. But you didn't get a sense watching tonight, Jordan, of deja vu, what Les was doing for so many years?
I really did not. I wasn't expecting to see it.
Well, you know what? You need to call us next week, and if you're correct, I'll tell you you're correct. But man, I tell you what Auburn's going to do. I'm a baseball guy. I'm not a football guy, but they're going to play one-on-one on the receivers, cover two. The other 7 are coming after Burrow. That's what they're going to do in the first quarter to see if LSU can adjust it.
Well, let me ask you this: if the offensive line can't protect, what you going to run?
You're going to have to run some screens, some draws, sprint draw, whatever, reverse.
Get rid of it quickly.
You got to get that. You got to slow them down with something because if they look at this tape, Auburn, I'm telling you, 7 guys are coming, like Buddy said, like a bat out of hell.
And I think that's what they were doing. I think exactly what the coach was saying. Look, we're not going to show them what we can do tonight.
All right, Jordan, appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Let's go to Paul in Mandeville. Paul, you're on a post-game show.
TK.
What's up, man?
Hey, man, whoever called in and said we were going to beat Alabama 3-0 needs to be drug tested
along with Sadiq Charles.
Well, they'd all be suspended. All the ones that got suspended tonight for the drugs. That guy would be on that list.
I will do this, Paul. If they shut out Alabama this year and put a goose egg up there,
buddy.
I will come do the show with you.
Buddy, stop.
Come do the show with you and officially retire
Buddy,
and go over to Sunrise and be in the nursing home.
Buddy has not been drinking, I promise you.
I will officially retire if they push the shutout against Bama.
They're not going to shut out Alabama.
I'm not going to even throw that coin in the air. That's a ridiculous comment. Look, here's my biggest problem, and I hate to say this name publicly, but there's no way you can quit coaching in the third and fourth quarter, which is basically what they did, because when your team lacks eye discipline and you start missing obvious plays and getting out of position because you're playing to the level of your competition and not playing to your ability, but you don't think if Nick Saban was wandering that sideline that somebody wouldn't be getting their rear end torn up, Grant Delpit, over and over again for not doing your job and letting your teammates down. The only pass I will give is to Devin White. Really looked tired on the field, almost like he's got camp legs.
Yeah.
And look, I was at the game. I know I texted you during the game. I'm sitting in row 8, 50-yard line, field level. I'm right behind the southeastern bench, so I saw a lot of what was going on. That's the only thing I could think as far as he's concerned. Losing Phillips, man, that's a big blow. You just found out what that kid really means to this team. Being able to get off the field on third down, unbelievable. I'm just terribly disappointed in the coaching philosophy, the lack of discipline, the lack of intensity, the playing to the level of competition. I don't care what sport you're playing. You can't win playing to the level of your competition. That's not how you compete.
Let me give a shout-out to this man because, he came and met me at Sullivan's a couple weeks ago, and we talked about Jamar Chase, and Paul, with his prediction this weekend, said that Jamar Chase would score the first touchdown. And that was nice, but we didn't see too much of him afterwards. And look, I think our last caller from Cutoff had an excellent point in the fact that you're not going to see that same LSU team against Auburn. It was a short week. I echo your sentiments about Devin White, but gosh, I just saw too much underneath the center with the offensive line being pushed back. You got to spread those guys out and dink and dunk and get rid of the football, even if you just throw the bubble, even if you throw the short stuff, because this running on first and second down the way they did, you're going to be in third and long all game long if you do that against Auburn, Paul.
Look, I think TK may have a legitimate point about maybe they were trying to protect him given that Swiss cheese offensive line. I'll give that 50% validity. I'm just questioning. I really thought they were going to try and throw the ball down the field a little bit, and you almost saw that, none at all. The other red flag to me, buddy, I know you've said you think Justin Jefferson will be the best of the three Jeffersons that's played at LSU. I don't see it, man.
Well, he wasn't around tonight. And by the way, while I'm listening to him, I think we all need to take a deep breath. And I like to get a little excited because that's why we get spicy. But we have to be cognizant of the fact that Joe Burrow, he's played 2 games as a starter in his life. And I think that sometimes we think he's just going to walk out there and do all the things. TK, you know from a baseball career, you just don't walk into this arena with this many people watching and caring, and all of a sudden, experience is a big factor. And so there is a lot of on-the-job training going on offensively, but I think what has most people really upset and that craw in their belly is that deja vu of that run and that mentality and philosophy on offense. And when you're not having success, at least Les knew how to do it and had the guys to pound it. LSU doesn't have the guys to pound it this year, Paul.
And here's a text message on the text message line. Love it when an FCS school comes into Baton Rouge and runs a 10 times more complicated offense with a fourth of the talent. Now, a couple of skill guys at Southeastern are pretty good football players, transferred in, whatever. But you're right. That's a great text message. It kind of goes with what Buddy and Paul are saying and what I said earlier. This is not the offense that Coach Orgeron said the Tiger fans would see.
Where's the shotgun? Where's the shot down the field? You took one shot down the field. They credit to Stephon Sullivan. We knew he might be the second strongest guy on the team. That is a man amongst boys, and I know he's got some questionable hands. He double catches the ball a lot, but big-time play at the end of the half. I think he's earned some more playing time. I would like to see him get a little more run with the first team. I'm not sold on Justin Jefferson at all. I'd like to see more of Terrence Marshall. I just don't know that you got the right receivers out there. I'm disappointed not seeing the shotgun. And so help me if Orgeron comes out at the press conference and says, well, we're showing 10% of our offense because we don't want to show Auburn anything. I heard that under Canada. Oh, we're only 10% into the playbook. Well, you better find the rest of it. You better go find whatever pages fell out of that magical binder you got. You better go run that down this week. You're going to need it, or you're about to get your rear end handed to you on the plane.
Thank you, my man. I enjoyed it as always. Excellent comments, Paul.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay.
And I'm going to repeat something I said at the beginning of the program. And coming up in just a little bit, we'll go to Tiger Stadium and visit with Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Shortly after that, Ronnie Rance of the Jumbo Sports Network. We talked about it earlier. We had a text message, why did they play down? That's human nature. That happens. I don't care how many times Coach O and the staff said, Southeastern can come in here. They got skill. They're going to work hard. They're going to throw a punch at you. It's still, but I think you still, as a college athlete, college football player, you owe it to your teammates. That's the first thing you owe for your teammates. Come out and play the very best you can. And, of course, the fans. But you owe it to your teammates to do your part to win the football game. And I haven't heard anything. We're going to hear from Brian and Ronnie, but I'm guessing they're going to say, well, we dumbed it down because we could win the game that way, and the bottom line is to win the game. Okay? I get that. So, they weren't on the field a lot, especially in the second half offensively.
Yeah.
Okay? Southeastern dominated time of possession, and I don't have a split on first half and second half time of possession. We can get that and talk about it on radio during the week. But LSU needed to improve in this football game because Auburn and Southeastern, that's two different parts of the universe, okay? I mean, that's a whole nother world. And Auburn had a gimme game today, and they are going to be fired up. They're going to be mad that they blew the 20-point lead in Baton Rouge last year. And they are going to come after Joe Burrow like he has never seen, including Miami and Southeastern put together.
And just remember, folks, as spicy as I get, this big ugly body of mine, you got to remember that Manda's spicy smoked sausage. We're going to have, Alan says don't change it up, but I'm going to slip in a little spicy sausage.
Well, it's a road game next week.
Yeah, that's right. We got to have a little road game for
game menu.
Hey, go to your local supermarket and deli. Don't forget it's Louisiana owned, Louisiana proud, and Louisiana taste. And I tell you what, I already have people that are going and scheduled to go to Auburn, and they're lamenting the fact of what happened tonight. But the great thing about it, LSU's still 2-0, but they've got to regroup very quickly and get their act together on offense.
Before we go to break and come back with Brian Lazar from Tiger Stadium, Pelican Broadcasting is expanding the empire. Scoreboards, sports grill and catering on Coursey Boulevard right next to Anton's Fine Jewelers. Sports, family, fun, food, drink, music, a unique experience, a sound stage with radio and television, a chance for you to win a contest and become a sportscaster. I mean, Scoreboards, sports grill and catering is very close to being ready. Very, very close. They got their own Facebook page, their own Twitter account. Look it up. Scoreboards, sports grill and catering, Coursey Boulevard. There's no place like it in Baton Rouge. Okay? Family, fun, food, drink, music, sports, TVs everywhere. It's going to be an amazing kind of place, and you're going to want to check that out. Of course, we're going to tell you all about it on Pelican Sports TV, WUBR Radio, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're going to blow it up as soon as we're ready for you. And again, we're very, very close. This has been in the works for a while. Very, very close. Scoreboards, sports grill and catering. Find them on Facebook. Find them on Twitter. Coming soon. We'll take a break. Come back with Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com from Tiger Stadium. We'll get an injury update. see what Coach O did say after the game, and much, much more. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Chrysan, we appreciate you on Facebook Live, WUBR on the smartphones, on the TuneIn app, and, of course, Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans. Stay with us.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Remember what these trips were like before you put the screens in the back seats?
I don't want to think about it.
Are we there yet? I'm hungry. Where are we?
Go, go, go. That game should keep them occupied.
Oh, yeah! Dad! Oh, in your face!
Don't make me get back there.
You don't need a new car to have new technology. Mike's Audio, conveniently located on Airline Highway near the corner of Bluebonnet.
Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Live and play on your special day at Greystone. Create lasting memories in our newly remodeled reception hall at Greystone Country Club. For reservations and information, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
We continue with the Pelican Sports post-game show. 31-0. Tigers win. They're 2-0 on the season. Brian Lazar's in Tiger Stadium. He's going to tell you all about TigerBait.com in a couple of minutes. Brian, good evening. How are you?
Good. How y'all doing tonight?
We're doing good. Everybody's curious. What did Coach Orgeron have to say after the game?
Well, obviously, he said we're happy with the win. He's happy to be 2-0. And then he probably said what most people felt. When he got to the offense, right away started talking about the passing game and how that they had trouble all night protecting Joe Burrow, that LSU, that Southeastern's defensive line gave LSU's offensive line some problems. He says, there was some missed assignments on the offensive line, and sometimes they just flat got beat in one-on-one situations. He thought that Burrow held on to the ball maybe a couple times. He said there were some drops, but, the biggest issue is they had trouble pass protecting. And, he said obviously they missed Sadiq Charles. He'll be back next week. LSU didn't make any announcement. Without a doubt, that was just a one-game suspension for violation of team rules. So, the offense more or less was similar to what you saw last week. Brissett had a 100-yard game, and the passing game struggled. Burrow was at 50%. Defensively, they were good again. Didn't give up points in the fourth quarter thanks to the errant shotgun snap which Jacoby Stevens picked up and ran back about 65 yards. But the defense dominated the game, and special teams were very good again. You had another 50-yard field goal by Cole Tracy. Zach Von Rosenberg punted the ball very well. Jonathan Giles had a 20-yard punt return, which gave LSU good field position for a touchdown. So, look, I hope, we talked about, or LSU coaches talked about how this team was going to throw the ball more, but after just 2 weeks, if you're going to play good defense and if your special teams are going to be very effective, you're not going to want to, you're going to want to play rather conservatively and let your defense and special teams win. So I can see LSU maybe not throwing the ball as much as everybody thought they were going to do.
Brian, obvious that Badura Traore had a very tough night. 91 just ate him up most of the night. Deckless was at left tackle for the aforementioned Charles, who was suspended for the game. Was Divinity also suspended?
Yeah, I assume so. Because he wasn't on the bench. You had injured guys on the bench, not dressed out, but they were there in their jerseys. But
McGee had his jersey on.
Yeah, okay. All right, but back to the offensive line.
Let me answer that.
Go ahead.
Didn't see Divinity, didn't see John Trey Kirkland, didn't see Torrey Carter. And, you notice Trey Gallman got into some snaps there as an H-back, which is something that where you probably would have seen Torrey Carter, and LSU never ran out of the I formation all night because they didn't have a fullback.
Just was asking what you think they're going to do with Deckless. And Traore just had an awful night. Could you tell if Deckless played okay?
Look, the right side was worse than the left side. But again, in the left side, you've got Brumfield. I don't think they ran the ball outside well on the left side with Deckless there. I thought most of the big runs by Brissett came center and guard. I know. Earlier this week when, Ed said that he thought Lloyd Cushenberry played the best of the newcomers on the offensive line last week. And I think that's, that may be the case again. The two guards, Brumfield and Damian Lewis and Cushenberry, right now are better than the tackles. Particularly now you don't have Sadiq Charles. Now you'll have Charles back out there next week against Auburn, so the left tackle position will be taken care of. But until Adrian McGee gets back, look, there's no other option. That's it. I guess you can look and see. They can see, well, is Deckless a better option than Traore at right tackle? And I think that's something, we'll see in practice this week. We'll see if Deckless gets some work on the right side this week.
Brian, was anything mentioned about injuries? Anybody get banged up at all?
No, I don't think, Fulton went out, but he came back into the game. Neil Farrell went out. I believe he came back in. I'm not positive. I thought he came back in. But nothing was mentioned about injuries. And, you had Jacob Phillips getting the targeting. Luckily, It was in the last minute of the first half, so all he has to miss was the second half tonight, and he'll be ready to go to start the Auburn game next week. Replacing Caleb Unchason tonight, LSU opened up in a 3-3-5. The third linebacker was Ray Thornton. So Ray Thornton was really replacing Chason in that. and whenever they went to 4 linebackers, it was Thornton and Andre Anthony. So that's what they did there. Look, the secondary, big moving guys all over the place. Mostly now, when you look at it, it looks like they've made the decision in one of their nickel schemes to play Delpit at the nickel and play Terrence Alexander as a safety. But they have all kinds of different packages. It changes when Jacoby Stevens gets in the game. He'll play down in the box as a nickel, and Delpit may move back to safety. They have, we were worried about the secondary. There's no need to be worried about it. They got plenty of guys to play back there.
Brian, we've had a lot of callers concerned about the offensive flow, the mindset, does this offense have an identity? No. Does it have a go-to play? No. Does it have a go-to guy right now? No. But then we also have some positive callers saying, well, they're probably holding some stuff back for Auburn. Where do you see the biggest challenge for LSU offensively going forward, besides protecting the quarterback?
Look, you are playing with an inexperienced offense. You're playing with a quarterback who has never played before. You had receivers with, Giles is the only one which has any type of experience. And then your offensive line, look who you played with tonight. The left tackle, Decolis, made his first career start. The right tackle, Traore, made his first career start. The right guard, Damian Lewis, made his second career start. And the center, Lloyd Cushenberry, made his second career start. You have to have some type of foundation on the offensive line. Now, you can be bailed out if you have an experienced quarterback. But you don't have an experienced quarterback either, and you don't have experienced receivers. It's funny tonight. They really used Sullivan and D. Anderson a lot. Anderson started tonight, in fact, instead of Terrace Marshall. And I almost thought this was like an NFL exhibition game. Let's give plenty of snaps to Anderson and Sullivan to see what we get out of them, to know whether or not we can use them now when we get into the heart of the schedule. And Ed, after the game, he praised Sullivan. He says he's somebody I think we need to get involved more. He obviously used his height on the Hail Mary receptions right before halftime. But look, people have to understand you got to do what you can do best. And if you got a team whose strengths are going to be defense and special teams, you don't want to take chances on offense. And that's what you're going to start to see. Now, here's the problem. What happens when Nick Brossette can't run the ball at all against Auburn, and then now you're going to have to throw, and that's why things can get kind of messy. But, look, another thing I mentioned, Brossette, I guess we're 2 games into the season, running back by committee, that's done with. I mean, it certainly looks like that Brossette's going to be is getting the majority of the carries right now for this team.
Brian, tell us all about TigerBait.com and the things that you and Mike and the staff cover.
www.tigerbait.com. Plenty of stuff up on the site already. There's a game review up already. Alex Leggett, myself, did a podcast. It's up on the site already. I'll have an analysis piece. And then there'll be, Ed Ogeron's post-game press conference and player interviews, and all that will be up, going up over the next hour or so on the site.
Brian, as always, we appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Talk to you Tuesday, Brian.
Okay, talk to you guys later.
All right, Kentucky did beat Florida by 11 points, so that's first time in 31 years that has happened. Buddy, text message question. Should LSU be ashamed that half of the fans left the stadium when the score was 24-0?
No, I mean, you cannot dictate fan behavior, and I think you and I both had this discussion. Right now there are a lot of doubting Thomases, and now that won't take place in the big SEC game, but for a cupcake game where you're expected to win by 40, and let's be honest, TK, this is a problem all across the country. I saw Alabama have a lot on open.
Well,
They had open, but I'm saying you can't expect them to stay when you saw what you saw on offense in the first half.
Yeah, and again, it's not unique to LSU. Everybody struggles with getting people in the stadium. Here's a text message: 75% of the Bama crowd left after the third quarter.
They did.
Of course, they play in Arkansas State.
They were happy.
Auburn's playing Alabama State. I mean, nobody's staying. That's going to happen, okay? And plus, in Baton Rouge, the traffic, if 90,000 try to leave the stadium at the same time, you're in traffic. So there are people who say, you know what, let's get out of here and beat a little traffic. That whole bit too. Let's get back in the parking lot where the beers aren't $12. Let's do all of that stuff, So I don't think you should be ashamed. It's just part of the landscape that exists now across the country, across the state. It just happens. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Ronnie Rance of the Jumbo Sports Network, he will have been in the LSU locker room. He'll file a report right after this pause on Pelican Sports Postgame Show. Buddy Saji, Tommy Chrysan, stay with us.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
The Acord Eye Clinic has moved to a new office, just minutes from the old office at 8280 YMCA Plaza Drive, Building 9. Dr. Shonda Acord and her staff welcome patients of all ages, including children and adults. They have a wide variety of frames and sunglasses, including Maui Jim. The Acord Eye Clinic features modern instruments and state-of-the-art technology, including digital retinal scanning with Optomap, hard-to-fit contact lenses, as well as professional care and service. Open Monday through Friday, 8 till 5. Call for an appointment, 225-767-EYES, and visit the website visionsource-br.com. The Acord Eye Clinic looks forward to seeing you.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Are you ready for this year's formal events? Weddings, homecoming, Mardi Gras, prom, pageants. Debbie's Bridal is having an inventory blowout sale. Don't be left out. Prices range from 20% off to 80% off. Happening now. Debbie's Bridal, Burnside in Gonzales.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
continue with the Pelican Sports post-game show. Tigers win 31-0. Let's go to Tiger Stadium, talk to Ronnie Rance of the Jumbo Sports Network. Ronnie, good evening. How are you?
Doing good, Tommy. Doing good.
Ronnie, I know you were in the locker room, and among the people you talked to was quarterback Joe Burrow. What did Joe have to say about the ball game?
Well, he talked about how exciting it was to play in Tiger Stadium, that so many people had told him what it would be like, and it definitely lived up to all the hype. He was honest and said, he's got to play better. The offense has to play better. They're not happy with 31 points. They're not happy with 7 points in the second half and all the pressures that he had as well. And so everyone to a man, including Joe Burrow, stated that they know they've got to get a lot better before Auburn next week.
Ronnie, does Joe know how to slide? I mean, has he played baseball before or what?
I know. Coach O talked about that because he was Sheldon Nichols if he was going to be able to play like that in the SEC and get through a whole season. And O was candid and said no. Especially with only two quarterbacks. Make a point of emphasis and teach him how to slide.
Ronnie, you also spoke to Greedy Williams, the cornerback. Almost had him a little pick six, but it didn't work out. What did Greedy have to say on the defensive side?
Well, Greedy was, he talked about how good the defense played, and anytime you pitch a shot, that's your job. And he also, I asked him, I said, "Did you know what you were doing?" I said, "Yeah, they just don't throw my way very often." He told the offensive coordinator in the Miami game when he was over on the sidelines, he yelled at him that, hey, at least give me a chance, throw a couple my way. And so that's going to be the story all year long. I mean, until the other guys, until the Christian Fultons and the others of the world, become like a Greedy Williams, he's just not going to get any football.
Who else did you speak to in the locker room, Ronnie?
Talked to Nick Brissett, and, I tried to pull it out of him, because his story is such a great one, 200 yards to start the season, a guy who waited his turn patiently, a Baton Rouge guy, and nobody was really talking about him coming into the season, and it's obvious he's number one back, and he was all business though, talking about the offense and gave all the praise. I asked him, what did he think about the play? What did he think about having to play? So many carries the first 2 weeks, and did he think that was going to be the case? And, in the offseason, he said, man, look, I will do whatever it takes. I'll do anything for this team to get a win. That's all that matters.
Ronnie, tell us all about Sports Shorts TV, Sports Shorts Radio. Tell us how people can take care of all that stuff and follow you on Twitter and stuff.
Well, Sports Shorts TV, of course, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, right here on Pelican, and then Sports Shorts Radio every Saturday morning from 10 to noon on ESPN Radio 104.5, 104.9 in Baton Rouge. So check us out. We'll be on early tomorrow. Next Saturday, we'll be on real early, doing 7:30 to 9:30 due to the LSU pregame coverage.
Hey, Jumbo, good to talk with you. Appreciate all the hard work you put in on the shows, all of the shows you do after the game. But TK and I were trying to surmise what the number will be for next week. 8, 9, 10. Where do you see Auburn as far as being favored? And when did the crowd start to leave? And was it poor Joe Burrow? If he thinks that's what Tiger Stadium is alive, wait till it gets rocking. But talk about the departures and the point spread for next weekend.
Yeah, I'm not sure, buddy, what the point spread is going to be. I thought, a touchdown. Probably before the game, I would have thought a touchdown. Not sure if LSU's lackluster performance against Southeastern would change any of that, because LSU's really fared well in this series, and I know that that's really most important. But, I don't think there was any red flags about this, people leaving early from Tiger Stadium. It's to be expected, not only for this game, but any non-conference game that 20, 30-point lead in the second half. This was definitely one by halftime. It was a mass exodus to Tiger Stadium, and it was pretty hot out there. I know a lot of people were talking about the heat, before the game, so I think that probably played a little role, and it was a long day. People tailgate.
Ronnie, did you get any kind of report? Do you have any kind of info on how the shoot went tonight?
I don't know officially, but I know that people were there. I walked by it. It had a good number of folks, giving it a gander, so I would judge it as a success.
Ronnie, appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thank you, Jumbo.
Okay, guys, my pleasure.
All right, we got a message on Facebook. Somebody who likes to wager says he thinks Auburn would be a 12-point favorite.
certainly going to be, more. I think more than a touchdown after tonight, TK.
Joe Burrow, 10 for 20, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. Again, a key stat tonight, Tigers did not turn the football over. That might be the silver lining in the whole night.
And have not turned it over. What now, 15 games, 8 turnovers. That's
well,
pretty,
none this year, yeah.
Including last year.
Nick Brossette, 19 carries, 137 yards. Clyde Edwards-Helaire got his first touchdown, as did Joe Burrow. Only 10 balls caught, 3 by Jamar Chase. He had a touchdown. Sullivan with the play at the end of the half, using his body and high pointing the ball and getting it done right there. Greedy Williams had an interception. 20-yard punt return for Giles. That was good. 50-yard field goal. Cole Tracy, Von Rosenberg, again, with a good average, 44.3 on 6 punts with a long of 59.
Third down conversions, please.
Let me get to that sheet here. Boom.
Couldn't have been any better than...
third down efficiency, LSU 4 of 11.
Okay.
4 of 11.
So that's 7 of 27 on third down in 2 games. That's
Southeastern had more first downs. Southeastern had 254 yards, LSU 335. Penalties, LSU 7 for 84, Southeastern 9 for 45. Time of possession, just a couple of seconds away from 35 minutes to 25 minutes, Southeastern. And I know it was even perhaps more slanted than that in the second half.
Yeah, that is the big, certainly that's one of the stats that makes you certainly stand up and take notice. Look, we know that there are going to be games. TK, we talked about this all through the years, and you're going to be flat on some nights. You can't get your football team up every weekend. It was a short week. You can throw all the excuses you want, but next week, folks, we're going to be here right after the game, and I think everybody's going to have a much better and clearer picture of where this program is, where they're going, and how it competes in the SEC, because Mississippi State looks mighty good. Alabama is just a machine with Tua.
Georgia.
Georgia, really good. And once again, Will Muschamp and Carolina are pretenders. Look at the East now with Georgia. Florida loses to Kentucky, first time in 31 years. Georgia blows off the doors of Carolina.
In Carolina.
At Williams-Brice. And so, are you kidding me? Georgia's got to beat Kentucky for the East. I don't know about Missouri being a factor there. So Georgia's is already pretty much a cinch to be in one of the 4 of the CFP. Alabama looks like a juggernaut. And we know that Texas A&M put up a hell of a fight. Jimbo's
Clemson will be there if they don't lose.
And Mississippi State's really good. Look, we talked about starting 5-1, and then that back half of the season. Let's hope that they can get their act together and do a good job, because if they play anywhere like they did tonight, we're looking at a double-digit loss next weekend.
All right, now next week, the kickoff's right after 2:30. It's the Saturday afternoon CBS game. That's going to put us on the air approximately 6:15. You know the drill. Could be a few minutes before that, could be after that. We'll be on radio, we'll be on TV, we'll be on Facebook Live. So help spread the word on that. It's a road game. Typically the road game, there's a whole lot more participation on the post-game show, so we're looking forward to that. Of course, we got the radio guys all week to set you up. Tigers roll on Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock on this same station. So there's lots of stuff out there to get you ready for the conference opener on the road against Auburn. Tigers beat Auburn last year. Auburn hadn't forget blowing that 20-point lead, I'm sure. So with all that being said, we're going to take a break. If you want to squeeze a call in, we'd have time for a quick one. Hit us with a message on Facebook, text. We're trying to keep up with it all. Final score again, LSU 31, Southeastern 0. Tigers now 2-0 on the season. As I said, conference opener next week at Auburn. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Chrysan, you're watching us on Facebook Live. You're listening on WUBR on the smartphones, on the TuneIn app, and of course, watching Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
It's a male plan. No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Bellello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bellello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, a CLK multifamily management property. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Stop by Cypress Lake Apartments, call 225-293-6789, or go online, live at cypresslakeapts.com. Welcome back to the final segment of the Pelican Sports Postgame Show. It does repeat on Sunday mornings, back-to-back airs 9 and 10:30 on Pelican Sports TV for those that may have missed it, or going forward. We're always going to let it repeat on a Sunday morning if you miss it, whether it's road game, home game, whatever it might be. And, of course, we got all the radio guys all week long and social media. And don't forget about Scoreboard, Sports Grill and Catering on Coursey Boulevard, right next to Anton's Fine Jewelers, very close to opening up. Food, fun, family, music, sports, TV, soundstage. No other place like it in Baton Rouge. Buddy, some of your final thoughts, comments on LSU. Still a ways to go. Didn't look like a team tonight that can compete in the SEC West, which is the best division in all of college football. But they can go ahead and, we'll see what happens next Saturday on the Plains.
Interesting that there was such a massive jump in the polls from 24 and 25 respectively to 15 and 11. I think if the media or the pollsters watch this, they will kick them back maybe to 14 or 15 or 16. Some people think maybe not, but obviously this was a tough night for a Tiger fan. Yes, you won the football game. Yes, you continued to win the turnover battle. Yes, you put a goose egg up on the scoreboard, but TK, if you watched it closely, Southeastern dominated LSU's offensive line. That's very disconcerting. You and I were talking during the breaks. 35 minutes for Southeastern to have the football, 25 minutes for LSU, and you saw it in the second half with the defense getting tired. LSU only gave up 37 yards in the first half, and yet gave up over 200 in the second half. They got tired. Paul called in from the stadium. Devin White, some of the other guys looked like they were getting tired. Grant Delpit didn't wrap up on some play, but once again, Tigers with 4 takeaways, and now they are a +6 for the year. So some good things, but a lot of cleaning up to do, and especially on the offensive end.
Well, the defense, just fine. albeit it was Southeastern. Special teams, ball was punted well, one field goal, 50 yards, it was good. And as soon as it came off his foot, you knew it was good. But the offense, that's the question, okay? And we did not see the offense that Coach Orgeron promised. Now, with that being said, maybe they wanted to dial it down a little bit, just win the game against Southeastern. But so we don't know. We just have to wait and see. And it goes back to something Buddy and I and other people have said for a long time, all of our colleagues in the media. I don't care if it's Les Miles, Ed Orgeron. You can't go by what they say. You go by what they do, okay? And this is not an offense that they said would happen. What they've done, we haven't seen it. Will that change against Auburn? Perhaps. Louisiana Tech's a lot better than Southeastern when they come in the week after that, and they beat the Southern Jaguars tonight up in Ruston. You know, so, by the way, Southern's got their home opener next week. But, Buddy, they got a lot of work to do, and Auburn, as a couple of people have said, they're going to be licking their chops for the Tigers to come over to the Plains.
You know, Brian made an excellent point talking about the inexperience. Joe Burrow now has started 2 games. Lloyd Cushenberry started 2 games. Nicholas, his first start. Traore, his first start. A couple of big penalties, also a couple of holdings that took back some plays, both on Broomfield and Damian Lewis, so you got to clean that up. But I guess Brian, when he was talking about the experience and all the receivers, this is going to be a work in progress. I just don't think they can line it up, TK, call the same plays, get in the same formations, and expect Nick Brissett to get 100 yards next week. You know how tough it is to win in Jordan-Hare. So right now, hey, we want to talk to you on the week on the radio, but this was certainly, I think, a game that probably kicked everybody's expectations back a little bit after Miami may have sped them up a little bit.
Yeah, and again, you know, fans are going to be fans. It's good to have that passion. You want to have fans that care as opposed to fans that don't. Funniest thing I saw all day was the comment that the Kansas football players had to go on the bench and search through the playbook when the coach called for the kneel down the quarterback at the end of the game. Kansas finally got a road win that they hadn't had in quite some time.
And so, Kentucky, give them credit. The Big Blue, 31 years, it's over. Dan Mullen, look, we talked about this. There's some problems in Florida. LSU plays them down the road in about a month. But let's all go to bed. Enjoy all of you coming on Facebook, the TV, the radio. We'll talk with you during the week.
Appreciate all of you. Stick with us on social media. Scoreboard Sports Grill and Catering. Find them on social media as well. Stick with us. We appreciate it as always, and we'll be back at you next week after a week full of radio and Tigers Roar. Buddy Saji, Tommy Krysan, on behalf of the entire Pelican crew, Tigers win 31-0. Talk to you soon.
It's time to find out the truth about health insurance.
True or false? I can't get health insurance because I missed the open enrollment period. False.
If you had a life change such as moving, getting married, having a child, or a job loss, you are eligible to buy a new policy.
I don't have a life-changing event, so I can't get health insurance. False.
You can purchase affordable short-term policies even if it's not open enrollment.
I have to spend hours shopping around for an insurance policy that's right for me. False.
Call Healthcare will connect you with licensed agents that do the work for you, comparing hundreds of options, making sure you get a policy that fits all your needs at the best price.
Call now and we'll connect you to a licensed agent that will answer all your questions. The call and the service are free, so what are you waiting for?
Call Healthcare, getting the coverage you need at a price you can afford. Call now. Representatives are standing by to assist you.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down.
Taste the feeling.